big return this week. We had Dwayne The Rock Johnson show up on every single media platform that he could get his face in front of. He was not only on he was on McAfee's show, he was on Game Day, he was everywhere. And he made his return to WWE on Smackdown on Friday night to a enormous pop. One of the biggest pops that we've had in WWE in a long, long, long time, at least as far as I can remember. It's pretty shocking, even though he really pissed everybody off. And, well, not everybody, but he definitely pissed me off earlier in the day whenever he was on McAfee's show and he decided to pull the pin on a grenade and launch it into the room and say, here, figure it out. Whenever he basically said that Roman and Rock was supposed to be the main event of WrestleMania 39, which there was much speculation that we had talked about on this podcast for a while. But never came to fruition, and it was ultimately, from what I know that Meltzer had said about, like, it was his call and that he was out of shape. So if that was the plan, the long or the short, how I feel about this, he went on there and straight up lied all weekend to generate buzz to try to insert himself into WrestleMania 40 because they got nothing to do right now because of the writer's strike, and he's openly available to do anything that he wants now in terms of WWE because there's nothing else taking up his schedule. So wanted to get your guys' thoughts on Rock returning, and we're going to do some fantasy booking as well, because we believe we took a lot of time to talk about this all weekend. We spent an exorbitant amount of time trying to figure out what is the right thing to do with The Rock and Roman and how this inserts into the storyline that they presently have already in place, what they've already done, and potentially where they could be going. And we believe we cracked the code. So we already know that somebody's listening to the damn pod because a lot of the stuff we talk about on here ends up coming true. So maybe we'll lay the groundwork and the foundation for the end of this bloodline story.
Yeah, go ahead, Mongoose.
Yes. So my first thing is, you say he's lying, John, he's a worker. So he's working. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan hasn't told the truth in 40 years. And so for him to go on all these platforms and for him to generate buzz, my thing is the timing is very interesting because this didn't just happen during the writer's strike. This happened after the week that Endeavor had formally acquired WWE.
I'm glad you brought that up.
And so to think that wasn't a carefully calculated thing is, I think that it's irresponsible to forget that. Him splashing in, I hate to say it, but this is my theory with this. I think that you put him on McAfee to generate some buzz. You have him show up just to see what happens. And what you're doing is you're testing waters. Yeah. And if he moved needles, and not just a pop, but if he moved needles and he moved ratings, which he absolutely did, they over 2.8 million viewers whenever he was out there unannounced on the first segment of that show Friday. To me, this was for nothing to do for him wrestling on 40. This has everything to do with what they hinted at when Cena came out during that Money in the Bank show. Because AEW ran Wembley, they need a main event for WrestleMania 41 at Wembley. And the only match that they have that is going to sell out Wembley, and I mean sell out Wembley, 90K, not 82,000 sold with 74,000 through the turnstiles. I mean 90,000 sold, 90,000 through the turnstiles is Rock and Roman, and that is what we're setting the groundwork for right
now. Bless the child. What did you think about it?
Is Homeboy going to be the champ going into 41?
And the thing is, no. And the reason I say no is they did it before, and they don't need to do it again because just him walking out there made 3 million people turn their TVs to that.
Oh,
And
I'm
that
talking
was
about Reigns.
all.
Is Reigns still going to be the champ?
Oh, without a doubt. I feel bad for John because he's killing Cody dead at Mania 40. And if he doesn't, he's going to loan Cody the belt the way that they did Kofi Kingston a couple of years ago, and then Roman's going to murder him on the way to WrestleMania.
That's okay, as long as he wins one while I'm there. I can't go to 2 WrestleManias and get cucked out of a Cody Rhodes win back-to-back years in a row, can I?
Well, you got plenty of time to prepare for it.
I'll tell you what, though, John. The thing about it is, if that is their grand plan, it's to sell those tickets. As annoying as much as I just hate them counting these days because he defends this belt 3 times a year. I got news for you, man. He ain't losing it.
No, I know.
Like he's not going to lose it.
I'm preparing my body. I'm preparing, but yeah. I guess he's going to have the damn belt. I don't think he needs to have the belt.
They could do that match without the belt and sell just as many tickets, but just to make sure that they do and to make sure that it's the biggest match ever, it will be for the belt. You know, the one thing The Rock, here's the thing, and I didn't even think about it, but The Rock might win that Seth Rollins belt.
Oh. So what are you thinking? How do you think he gets there?
Me?
Yes, you.
So he doesn't do the Rumble. But if they wanted to be champion versus champion, there's the Saudi show. Is the Saudi show, would they have one before Mania? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It would depend on what the Saudi show was that year. The Rock could absolutely beat whoever has that world belt at Saudi and then do champion versus champion. But to be honest, all they need to do is have Rock show up at the end of 40 and say, Roman, I'll see you next year for the head of the table or whatever.
That's what I thought. So in my the way that I was laying out the framework is that Rock is going to come in and he's going to support Roman and be in the bloodline, and that he would try to bring the family back together. He would try to get Jay back within the family and bring Jimmy back in. Like he would mend all the fences and all the bridges would be rebuilt. And then they would be rock solid headed into Mania. And then Rock would stop the interference. Like he wouldn't allow the Usos to jump in. He wouldn't allow Solo to jump in. And then Cody would win. And then The Rock would step in and say, you know, you just lost because you need all this help. And I'm here to prove that I'm the real head of the table. I'm the head of the bloodline. And I'll see you at 41. So
that could be it. Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, I think I don't even know if he's going to show up that much between now and 40. I think Rock just runs out at 40 and stops Solo Sikoa from hitting somebody in the throat and prevents the interference, and Reigns loses the title to somebody.
Yeah.
Whether that's Jay or whether that's Cody or whether that's, you know, I don't know who the hell, you know, but it could just be something as simple as that.
And the other thing too is that it's thrown in our face a lot in these press conferences is that they're only at the bottom of the 3rd inning. So like at some point we got to move innings here. We just can't be stuck in the 3rd inning all the time. We got to make movements here. So
the bottom of the 3rd puts us in the 6th inning this time next year. So then the 9th inning is Rumble season the year after.
Yeah.
So that literally could be it, is that the bottom of the 9th inning could be Mania 41, because that, you know, Heyman said that bottom of the 3rd thing
twice. He said
go.
So
there you go.
I don't know. but it's definitely big business. They got over 103 million views over the weekend on YouTube. So like it's big business. It instantly brought in 3 million viewers. Like it's big business. It's a big deal. It is the money match. And I know that I had talked to people on Twitter over the weekend, and they were like, why does everyone think Cody has to win the belt? Well, I don't know. Like, yes, I can get on both sides where I can say that yes, this needs to be for the belt, but I can also get with it real. I guess my own fandom is creeping in here, but I don't want to see that happen to Cody again. So I'm like, shit, like we got to have Cody win it, but it doesn't need this Roman Rock thing doesn't need the belt. But in what you're saying, Mongoose, that like if they want to legitimately sell 90,000 tickets and they want 90,000 asses in seats, like the only way I mean, they're going to sell those tickets no matter what, but you're gonna,
You put a 4-year title reign against The Rock. There's nothing better you can do.
This is the biggest match since WrestleMania 17. I feel like
It could be argued that it's bigger than 17 because we saw 17 2 manias before.
mm,
It's probably the biggest match since The Rock and Hogan,
at 18.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a year later, but for different reasons.
Gotcha. Yeah. That is true. I mean, it's huge. Like it's enormous. And for people to say that like this is the biggest money match to do it this year, they've already sold the tickets. Like I want like
exactly it.
Andretti made that huge point in the group chat this week. So I won't steal your whole thunder on that one, but
No, I think you're right. You sell those tickets for the Wembley show, which they're going to have. They're going to do a Mania in London. It's going to be in Wembley, and they're going to want to have the biggest gate that has ever happened, and they need to have the biggest match that they could possibly get. And it ain't going to be Jay Leno versus Dennis Rodman. It's going to be, I mean, it should be that, but it's going to be Reigns and Rock, dude. And they're going to build towards 41, and that's probably the right call.
yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely the right call. If they can make it happen,
they're going to get a lot of people from the United States to fly in for that match, fly in for that show.
they'll get people. The entire European Union is going to try to go to that. The U.S. is going to fly into that. And again, because of what All In just did, and because they announced another one to plop a Mania right in between those is a double middle finger, one on each hand, to each of those AEW shows,
Right.
and that it checks all the WWE boxes.
Oh, they're absolutely going to walk in there and big dick swing around that, you sold 82,000 tickets and you had 74 people in there. But we're going to sell 90 and we're going to have more than 90 in the building. Like, yeah. And we thought that getting tickets was hard for 40, not only like price wise and all that, and trying to get all that together, trying to get tickets for that show might be even worse. It's going to be like like if they announced that match before they put the tickets on sale, that could be like a WrestleMania 20 situation where like those tickets were impossible to come by. And especially like they sell them on Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster has massive problems with ticket sales. Like
it ain't going to be cheap. I'll tell you that much.
It ain't going to be cheap. Yeah. But that is the match. That's what the match they've been building to all these.
They're going to build that as the biggest match ever, is what they're going to build it as.
Right. A couple years after they did the Randy Orton Edge thing. That was the greatest.
Who's Edge and who's Orton? Who are those people?
I know.
You remember whenever they definitely build that as the greatest match ever.
Did they think we were
sorry about Joe Damlock?